Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure. It's always my honor to be greeting you and bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. That's why my encouragement to you is to use your consciousness to create your reality consciously. And as you know, I always teach that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. That's the reason why I want to share with you how the Father, good pleasure is to give you the kingdom. So my subject today is, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And this parable or riddle is written in Luke chapter 12 and verses 32. And the reason why I say parable or riddle is because the Bible was written symbolically, and it have no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. From the beginning to the ending of the Bible, it's all a great psychological drama, and it all have to do with the human psyche. So when the Bible speaks here of the Father, and that the Father's good pleasure is to give you the kingdom, it is speaking here of the power in you to bring forth, to reproduce, to procreate. Now let us look at a father in the physical sense. A father is the male, and the male carries the seed. The original seed of creation is the spoken word. So the spoken word is the original seed, and a word is a thought expressed. So you see, my brother and my sister, it all goes back to the fact that we are thought evolved beings. Therefore, we have to use our mind power to achieve our every desire. It's basic common sense. Because our mother and our father, they came together to partake in the physical act of sex as the expression of a thought, because they first had a thought, they first had the idea. Every action is the expression of a thought. So this is what it is speaking about when it speaks about the Father. And that is why the Bible also tells in Matthew 6 that the Father resides within. That's why you should go into your closet and speak to the Father in secret. Your secret place is speaking of your place of imagination. That place where you have where you create your image, or that place of imagery. That place that no one can know but you, and only through the expression someone can know what was going on within you. So that's what he's speaking about when he talk about the Father. And he say it's his good pleasure, which means when you go in to your inner self, you have to have this sense of feeling good, the sense of self-acceptance. You must have some sense or some knowledge of who you are. That is why it says it is good pleasure. You shouldn't be going into visualization or meditation with doubt and fear. And that is why in the same scripture I tell you, fear not, little flock. Do not allow yourself to be kept in bondage by the system and the things that the system has put in place to keep you to vibrate in the energy of fear. But you are to vibrate in the energy of love. That's why I always encourage you to love yourself, embrace yourself, speak good about yourself. Every time you say I am, you must have some positive thing to say after I am. Because I am is your real name. And that's the name of God. From generation to generation. That's Exodus chapter 3. And you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. For you are the Moses who will ask the question of the name. You will ask of your identity. You will ask the question, who am I? And when the answer comes, it would be I am that I am. Which is to say, I am whatever I believe myself to be. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Because Moses means to be born, or to be drawn out of the water. So it is speaking about you who was drawn out of the water. Because your mother water back have to burst before you could have been expressed here. And you were in a basket when you were in your mother's womb, surrounded by water. For most of the body, it comprises of water, and most of the oil comprises of water also. So see, my brothers and my sisters, everything must run in oneness. Okay? So, when you get in touch with your Father, which is your higher self, your true self, your creative self, your imagination, which is the creator in everyone, the producer, the healer, the provider, the multiplier. For everything in this world, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. If you believe that there is a God, and you believe that there is a creator, and you believe there's only one God and one creator, then you have to believe also that there's only one creative power, and the only creative power there is in this world that anyone can use to create or invent anything at all. It is the power of imagination. That's why this truth cannot be proven wrong. Because before you can speak or before you can do anything, it has to first be a thought. So anyone who tries to prove this wrong, they will actually prove it right. Because when they speak, it has to first be a thought. When they ignore, it has to first be a thought. Anything they do or say. You see? So my brothers and my sisters, that good pleasure of the Father is speaking about you really coming to know your true self, who you are. That your true essence is the Father, who wants you to discover the kingdom. So when he say it is good pleasure to give you the kingdom, for you to discover the kingdom, for you to discover your higher self, your true self, that all these things that is a desire in this world, they will be added unto you. You will discover the secret of creation, because you will know that you are the creator and you can create your destiny, because you are the Lord and Master of your destiny, and that you can create your reality consciously. For it is your own thoughts that are creating your personality and creating your reality. When you come to that realization that there is no God outside of yourself, there is no creator, no redeemer, no savior outside of yourself, and you understand the Jesus and Mary story to be your own autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically, then you are free. You discover the law of liberty. So my brothers and my sisters, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Whenever you find the kingdom, you find the source of all joy, peace, and happiness. So there must be pleasure. That is why it is said that above all things, I wish that you prosper and be in good health, as your soul prosper. Your soul, the inner you, the sun in you. So my brothers and my sisters, stop looking to a God outside of yourself. Stop believing in a God outside of yourself and start looking within. Because the kingdom is within you. Luke 17:21 tells you that. And even now as I speak, there are so many people, having a lot of people on the internet, pointing them to look without and telling them about the great conjunction and great solar flash, and they're looking for signs outside of themselves. No sign would be given. It It tells you that in Luke 17 and 20. And people looking for sign and talking about great awakening. No man know the day and the hour of their visitation when they will wake up. And I'm speaking from experience. That's why all these people, that many people following around the world, they're following them because they see some of them have million subscribers and they have so much and so much of subscribers and they're telling them bullshit. Why should you look to a sign outside? When everything is an expression of that which is within. You should look within first. That's why you're told, if you seek first thing first. You don't put the cart before the horse. You wouldn't get anywhere like that. The horse must be before the cart to pull the cart. You look within first. You allowing NASA to determine your destiny. As some YouTuber, I'm not even asking you to believe me and put me on a pedestal because I'm not a pastor or a preacher. I'm one just like you who happen to experience the awakening, and I'm telling you that no man can tell you low here, low there. I tell you when. It's all bullshit. So I don't get caught up with those kind of hype, and anyone who's following this channel and really truly believe in themselves wouldn't get caught up in such a hype. They make sure that it's live and telling you thing, and the only astronaut you're supposed to be is a spiritual astronaut. When you become invisible, you float in. You become one with the wind. That's a real astronaut. You're following the duplicate. When you look at the astronaut, that's not just a duplicate, that's the real astronaut. The astronaut in the physical. But you have to be a spiritual astronaut. So my brother, my sister, it's the Father's good pleasure, man, to give you the kingdom. Don't get caught up with men charisma and their influence. Don't do that. Just turn into a little rant now. Because, you know, so much of people are going to tune in and say, well, yes, the great solar flash, it did happen, this did happen. Ah, come on, wake the fuck up. So, let me come here to a close, my brother and my sisters, by saying to you, come on. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Focus within. That's where the kingdom is. And activate that power within you to achieve your every desire. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I really want to thank you very much. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying is really resonating with you, I would like to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, or to comment, to share this video. But just before I leave, I'd like to remind you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And truly my whole body was filled with light when a single eye awakes within me. And I change from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye. And ascend like a fiery being. And would have heard the unearthly wind, that mighty rushing wind. And would have felt that great earthquake. And came out of my skull and became invisible, became one with the wind. Being in the right conjunction, being in the right alignment. That's the reason why I always say to you, when you have this experience, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N. And that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun do parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun there is no life, and there is no light. And without the human imagination there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. Because it is his good pleasure to give you the kingdom, my brother and my sisters. And truly the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity. For the Son is what powers all of humanity and gives all of humanity its energy. And then in Malachi chapter 4 and verses 2, you're told also that the Son, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you. That's my experience. And when the Son arises in you, he can arise in you with healing in his wings. That's why I'm bringing healing to all of humanity, pointing each and every one to look inward to discover that their real identity is their divinity. And that is why I always say to you to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which actually the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire, because it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Grab hold of your kingdom by first believing in yourself and keep focusing within. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.